I'll start recording. Great. Go ahead, Kelly, take it away.
So welcome everyone to the Monday Zoom meeting with a featured speaker today is Kim Coelho from the Alzheimer's Association. And Emma Coleman has graciously agreed to lead us in the pledge today.
Okay, so do I just start?
Yep.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of
United States
of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I haven't done that since like 6th grade.
We did great. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And with that, that leads us into introduction of new members and guests. And so, Emma, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm from Gold Leaf Media. I'm a new business in Fortuna. I've been around for like 4 months, basically. I do social media management and marketing for businesses. I have a lot of clients on like Main Street in Fortuna. So I run their social media pages for them. I build their websites, and then I come in and I make content for what they're selling in store. So yeah, if you ever need help with that, send me a message.
Thanks, Jeff.
Perfect. Thank you, Emma.
Awesome. And her contact information is in today's newsletter that went out. So, and you can also find her at goldleafmedia707.com. Is that right? Okay.
Perfect. I don't think we have any other members or new members or guests on today.
Not right
So
now.
chamber announcements, and actually, hey, you, would you like to speak about Burger Week?
Burger Week starts on Thursday. For those of you who know about Burger Week, we have about 15 restaurants that have signed up, and Humboldt Grass-Fed Beef is going to be our sponsor again. So we're really excited about that. And I am in the process of doing a cool little bingo card. So it's going to print in the paper this week so people can play bingo and like go and check off when they've eaten at whatever restaurant. So we're a little timid on whether we were going to do it this year just because of you know what, but we're starting to, I think stuff's starting to relax. So now that we're dining in, it just gave us a little bit more of a push. So the community's responding pretty well. So that starts this week. So that's all I got. Thanks.
And who do you have from Fortuna that signed up? I know you've got Hot Deli, Eel River Brewing. Hot Deli,
Eel River Brewery, and I guess you could count Ridgetop. I think they're technically 95540.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for Fortuna.
No Smoke and Barrel.
No Smoke and Barrels, but we did get No Brand in Ferndale this year, which is good, and Wildwood Waffles in Riadell, which they had an awesome burger last year too. So
I tried it. It was good.
And it's gonna be kind of cool this year since COVID. We don't really want a photographer like running around to all the restaurants to take pictures. So we're having an artist draw all the burgers in the paper this week, and then we're gonna do kind of make them look like Burger Time, you know, how they have like pieced together burgers. And then hopefully once people go out and start eating them, they'll hashtag and it'll go from there. So it's a new thing.
Do you have any new restaurants this time?
Well, No Brand's new. They haven't done it before. And Beaupre Golf Club hasn't done it. Mad River, the pub, Papa Joe's, they're doing it. Actually, yeah, there's a couple of new ones. So
good.
It's fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa.
No problem.
Renee, I'll turn it over to you for more announcements.
Great. I'm gonna share my screen again and show the exciting thing, which is our brand new billboard.
It's
is
been
up.
fun. Been fun driving by, watching them. We were there late last night.
Yeah, so it's up. They have to, I think there probably maybe a little finishing touches, but it's 98% done. And of course you can see there, the Humboldt Connections trailer is down in the bottom right and the scaffolding is still up, but for all intents and purposes, it is up and I'm super excited. So the next project for the Tourism and Marketing Committee will be to replace the sign directly after this one, which we refer to as the River Lodge sign, because right now it's a billboard for the River Lodge, but the chamber pays the rent for both of those signs through the Tourism and Marketing Committee. So we are going to replace both of them. So I'm very excited. So the committee is working on ideas for the second one, maybe a play off of Eat, Shop, Stay, something like that, which is our little slogan on the Kenmar sign when you come off the highway. Which is also being refurbished. The Chamber and FBID have got Alan from Fortuna Signs working on that. He's waiting on some more paint, but he's gonna fix those tiles and make it look pretty close to original. So I'm very excited about that. The other thing that is happening is we are getting ready to launch our first ever virtual scavenger hunt called the Fall into Fortuna Scavenger Hunt. Oops, there goes my phone. That will be starting October 2nd. So unfortunately we'll be a week behind Burger Week. But we're gonna have a bunch of fun missions that people can do in Fortuna, visiting businesses, seeing landmarks, going to the park, doing different things, all socially distanced. The teams can be one person or the whole family. We're encouraging people to stay within their family unit. It'll be a chance to get out of the house and complete some of these missions. So they'll have a full weekend plus the following week. So it runs October 2nd through the 9th. So look for that. It's through an app called Goose Chase. So download it from either your Android, like Google Store, or from the Apple Store. And then if you just do a general search for either Fortuna or Fall into Fortuna, you will find it very easily because we're really the only one doing anything in Fortuna on the app. And the grand prize, I'm happy to announce, is $500. And it will go to the team with the most points, who racked up the most missions. And it will be redeemable in gift certificates from our local merchants, or with our local merchants. The chamber is, T&M is putting forth that grand prize. So thank you to the members of our committee who approved that. So yeah, get ready, download the app, select your team, and get ready to go live on October 2nd. And then let's see, city council meeting is tonight. I guess Merritt couldn't make today's meeting. It's probably going to be a humdinger of a meeting. It looks like they've got some interesting items on the agenda. One is a cannabis citation ordinance, and then another one is a rezoning of a lot up on Ronerville. So it may have some fireworks. So, and then next week, our guest speaker will be Janine Murphy from Redwood Coast Village. So hopefully we'll see everybody again next Monday. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Renee.
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
No.
Back to the signage. So is there any discussion about replacing the signage of the different service groups, you know, that was on that sign that came down?
We did decide, we were gonna, how do I put this? We were gonna reach out, well, one of our members was gonna reach out to the different organizations and see if they wanted to chip in for the rent.
Yep.
To have, you know, it'd be a small one-time, you know, yearly rent, but we just ran out of time, and with COVID, she didn't feel comfortable asking for money. So we'll probably get insignias at some future point.
Okay.
But as a committee, they decided to wait on it and focus on the stuff, the tourism, you know, like the dog park and food and shopping, local, that kind of stuff.
Okay, just so it's not dropped completely, because it would be a shame to lose those partnerships with those service groups. So just saying.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Any
Thanks.
other questions for Renee? How about announcements from members? Becky, do you have any announcements for us?
Let's see what's going on. I do want to do a big shout out, and it goes along with our speaker, Kim. So Susan Seaman, mayor from Eureka, yesterday put together a fun tea party for her fundraiser for the walk on October 10th. And it was really fun. So there was a group of us, about 12, and it was fun to make a small donation and just hang out for an hour and just share what we're doing, and it was great. So I can't wait to hear what Kim has to say. This is a really important walk, but it's coming up sooner than ever. But yeah, it's kind of virtual, but it's not. I think people are still walking. So anyway, just a little segue in for Kim.
Thank you,
Thank
Becky.
you, Becky.
You're welcome.
Well, then I will go ahead at this time and introduce our featured speaker, Kim Coelho from the Alzheimer's Association. Kim, all yours.
All right, thank you. So I'm the Community Engagement Manager for the Alzheimer's Association. I work with the volunteer committee to plan the Walk to End Alzheimer's that is held the second week of October. So this will be our 5th year. So the Alzheimer's Association, we provide care and support to all those facing Alzheimer's. We offer educational programs and raise awareness to grow the understanding of the disease. And that's a big part of the walk. It is a fundraiser, but even if folks don't raise a dime, if they're just there helping us to let people know, be aware of this disease, because unfortunately Alzheimer's is like cancer was back in the 50s. Folks don't want to talk about it. So, which is really sad. You have a loved one struggling with it, and you just don't want to be able to share that with other people because there's a stigma, unfortunately, attached to it because it's in the brain. So anyway, we speak up for the needs and rights of those affected by Alzheimer's. So I'm going to share my screen now with you guys. And there we go. Okay, here we go. So thanks for being here with me today to learn more about the walk and about the Alzheimer's Association. So, and as I'm talking, if you guys have questions along the way, just feel free to speak up then if you want to. So today you're going to hear more about the mission of the Alzheimer's Association and how you can help millions of people nationwide who are currently affected by this devastating disease. Locally, you might be surprised to know we have over 3,000 folks that are in Humboldt County that have Alzheimer's. And let's see, Renee, how do I click to the next screen? Oh, there we go. Okay. So blink twice, another person in the world has just developed Alzheimer's disease. They're our parents, our friends, our siblings, customers, and coworkers. Alzheimer's and dementia impacts individuals and their families, often requiring years of caregiving and expenses. The disease not only steals memories and moments, but whole identities and ultimately lives. This isn't just their fight, it's everyone's fight. It's why it's so important to continue to move our mission forward. Some of you may be wondering, so who is the Alzheimer's Association? I was wondering the same thing when I went to work for them 3 years ago, but now I know a lot about them. So, and what do we do? So we'll definitely answer those questions today, but more importantly, you may be wondering why. So why do we exist and why are you here today? The Alzheimer's Association leads the way to end Alzheimer's and all other dementias by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. Our vision is a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementias. And folks have asked over the years, we have in our mission statement all other dementias, because Alzheimer's, of all the dementias, it's usually 75% of the cases are Alzheimer's, but we definitely focused on all dementias. So there's Lewy bodies, there's frontal, temporal lobe, there's lots of different types. So some of you may be wondering, let's see, we'll go down to the next one. The association provides support groups, education programs, and other activities to help people navigate the disease. all completely supported by donations made possible through the Walk to End Alzheimer's and other association events. The Alzheimer's Association has made funding research a priority in order to slow and one day stop this disease. The association has granted over 167 million to more than 500 leading international research projects working towards methods of treatment and prevention. So every year we host the Alzheimer's Association International Conference, where we bring together scientists from all over the world to share dementia research, because we know we can't do this on our own. We need, scientists from all over the world. This past year, we had over 26,000 people attend from over 155 countries. The conference was held in July in a virtual format. So first year it was held virtually. We were supposed to be in the Netherlands. So every year they change locations. So, but obviously things had to change like everything else for everyone. So highlights from this year conference. The first one was that they're continuing in their development of a blood test that they can put on the market, hopefully in a couple of years, that will let you know whether you're at a risk for developing Alzheimer's. And a lot of folks will say, well, I don't want to know if I'm going to get it, but if you know 20 years in advance that you're heading in that direction, there's definitely steps that you can take to slow down the development of the disease or completely stop it if you change your diet, exercise, other. So another interesting study that they found out this year was that researchers discovered that Hispanics are 1.5 times more likely to develop dementia. They also discovered that the APOE4 gene is the strongest known predictor of getting Alzheimer's in white European descent, but not other races. Before they thought it affected everybody, but we know now it's just Caucasians basically, that if they have that gene, they're more at risk of getting Alzheimer's. If you're Hispanic or African American or another race, then even if you have that gene, you're not necessarily gonna, it's not gonna be a predictor of getting Alzheimer's in the future. So there's also a link, this was interesting, a researcher did between vaccinations and dementia risks. So one study found that just a single flu shot over a lifetime showed a 17% lower rate of risk of developing dementia. So they think that by your immune system, getting it strengthened by getting a flu shot every year makes you less susceptible to illness, and so less susceptible down the road to developing dementia. So another study found that cardiovascular risk factors when you're young, like having a high BMI, are showing a higher risk for late life dementia. So it's sad. So if you're, 10, 12-year-old and you're obese or overweight, then that unfortunately shows a link to getting dementia later on in life. So what they've discovered the last few years is that what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So everything that we've been taught to keep our heart healthy, like just, good diet, good exercise, is also going to affect the brain, since that's an organ like the heart is. So the Alzheimer's Association is the leading voice for Alzheimer's disease advocacy, fighting for critical Alzheimer's research and care initiative at the state and federal level. As an organization, we mainly reach a portion of the affected community with our services, but with advocacy through legislative efforts, we can reach 100% by connecting volunteer advocates to the policymakers who can make a difference. So some of you may already be familiar with our services and the impact this disease has on families. Alzheimer's takes a bigger toll on people worldwide. It's important to remember Alzheimer's is not just an elderly person's issue, it's a family issue. So approximately 25% of caregivers are in the sandwich generation. So they're caring for an aging parent while also having children under the age of 18. 18.5 billion hours of unpaid caregiving, valued at $234 billion, is spent annually. And Alzheimer's is the most expensive disease in the US. By 2015, it could cost the nation as much as $1.1 trillion. A lot of folks, when they do have an aging parent that is diagnosed, if they can't afford to put them in long-term or they don't want to, then a lot of times they have to leave their jobs or start working part-time, because as the disease progresses, the person's going to need care pretty much 24/7. So you can't leave them at home and go to your job. So In the workplace, not only is Alzheimer's impacting families, but it's having an effect on the workplace. If you have an employee that is a caregiver, your company is being impacted by this disease. With Alzheimer's diagnosis on the rise and the challenges presented from COVID-19, this is an extremely difficult time, not only for those with the disease, but for caregivers and supporters too. Please know the Alzheimer's Association is here for you through our 24/7 helpline. You can also find additional resources on our website and guidance specifically related to COVID-19 at alz.org/COVID-19. So one of the saddest comments that I heard, a month or two ago, shared on one of our staff calls from assisted living home administrators is that staff saying they're saving their residents from COVID-19 by not having their loved ones visit, but then instead they're losing them to loneliness and depression. So the rise of folks with dementia that are passing away is on the rise because they don't understand why their loved ones have stopped coming to visit them. So the Alzheimer's Association is working on trying to figure out a way to allow loved ones into the nursing homes, more testing at the homes so that they can get in there and visit. So how we can help, we can provide virtual lunch and learns to employees. So topics would range from the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's to living with the disease, caregiving at different stages, and healthy lifestyle choices for the brain and body. We also offer virtual support groups and educational programs. So a good thing of COVID has been that our educational programs have gone virtually. Before, I'm just one person up here. I work part-time, so I can only do so much. But with the educational programs going online, it's wonderful because we have wonderful people at our regional office in San Jose that do these great online educational programs, and now everyone can benefit from them. So same with support groups. Caregivers can apply for respite grants. So folks can contact me and we can get that going for them. You can schedule a care consultation with a master level clinician. So I get these calls all the time from folks that are like, my mom is starting to forget things. I know she's going, she definitely has early onset Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. I need to talk to someone to see what to do. And so these are free phone calls through the Alzheimer's Association. We have an online message board through ALZ Connect. It's a free service that allows those living with the disease and their caregivers to exchange information and build relationships. So we definitely have had plenty of people in our area take advantage of this. So it's just nice to be able to share what they're going through with other folks between the caregivers and the person with the disease. So now that we've talked about the why, let's talk about the how. So everyone on the call has the potential to engage their friends, family, and employees and coworkers by putting together a Walked Into Alzheimer's team. So here's the Coelho Senior Spring Living Team from last year's walk. So, and they're our presenting sponsor this year. One of my children wandering through the dining room. For many of you on the call today, this might be your first time hearing about the Walked Into Alzheimer's. So this event takes place not only in our community, but in 650 communities throughout the country. So the Walked Into Alzheimer's is the signature event of the Alzheimer's Association, plays a significant role in helping the association advance its mission. So this year, walk is everywhere. So on every sidewalk, track, and trail, your health and safety are our top priority. So we aren't having a large in-person gathering this year like we usually do in the past. Instead, we invite you to walk in teams of friends and family while others in your community do the same. So the day of walk this year, like I mentioned before, October 10th is Saturday. So participants are going to log on to an online portal called Walk Main Stage at 9 in the morning. So we're going to email participants like the week prior to let them know what the link is. They will watch our opening and promise garden ceremonies. My husband, Marty Coelho, some of you know, he is our marketing volunteer chair for this event, so he'll be the host for this event. Once you watch this opening ceremony and Promise Garden ceremony, it's about a half an hour long. Then you're going to go out in your community and walk with your team. You're going to wear your walk gear if you have some, the purple shirt. You're going to walk with your Alzheimer's flags. Participants are mailed a set of these before the event of 5. And then you can visit one of the Humboldt County view-only Promise Gardens in all these communities that we're setting them up in this year. Let's see, I think I went 1, 2 forward. Okay, we're finished with, so we normally give out flowers to everyone. If you've gone to one of our Walked Into Alzheimer's events before, there's artificial flowers that we give out to everyone who participate, and then you go and plant them in our Promise Gardens. But since we aren't gathering this year, that's why they're sending out the flags that have images of the Promise flowers. So, and the Promise Gardens are made up of these flowers, and they're in 4 different colors. So each color represents a participant's relationship to the disease. So the yellow flower is given to caregivers caring for someone with Alzheimer's, so they'll hold their yellow flower normally if you're at the in-person event. The purple flower is for those that have lost someone to the disease. The orange represents supporters and advocates that want a world without Alzheimer's but don't necessarily have a personal relationship to it. And the blue flower is given to someone who's currently living with Alzheimer's or other dementias. So we're going to have a display garden in Fortuna. Yay, we have that worked out. So it's going to be at the intersection of South Fortuna Boulevard and Kenmore Road. So we're going to have just a display garden with these flowers that I just mentioned of the different colors, and folks can drive by that, walk by it. It's going to be up the Thursday before the walk and a few days after, so it'll be up about 6 or 7 days. So now I want to highlight a couple of helpful tools for fundraising this year. So the Walk mobile app for iPhone or Android will allow you to track your fundraising progress, send text messages, ask for donations, manage your Facebook fundraiser, and even deposit checks you've received towards your fundraising goal. So traditionally, participants who use the app raise over 3 times more than folks that don't. Plus, the app will be even more important this year because we're adding in the ability to track your steps on walk day. You'll be able to track your progress along a virtual route, share your progress on social media, and listen to motivational messages. And then with the Facebook fundraiser, it's a great way to share your story and your fundraising using social media. When you start a Facebook fundraiser from your Walk to End Alzheimer's Participant Center, your fundraiser is automatically synced between Facebook and your walk page. Your Facebook friends can donate to your walk campaign without leaving Facebook. And by sharing your fundraiser on Facebook, you'll reach friends that might not otherwise think to ask for support. So I did my Facebook fundraiser this year, and I usually kind of pick and choose who I'm going to ask. And this year I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to send it out there to all my friends. And I went to Humboldt State, ran cross country and track for Humboldt. So anyway, I sent it to everybody, including my track buddies. And one of my track buddies that lives in Fort Collins, Colorado, just right away made a $60 donation. And because you don't know who, you don't know everyone that's been affected by this disease. So we have different incentives. I mentioned before, so if you raise $100, you get the walk shirt, which is very similar to other organizations. On the back will be all our local sponsors. If you raise $100, you get the walk shirt, you become a champion, you get a medal. If you raise $1,000, you get those 2 items plus the extra shirt, soft tee. And then if you raise up $2,500, you become an elite champ. So you get all the items plus this 1 pullover. So we have 2 national presenting sponsors this year. We've had one for the last 4 or 5 years, and then CVS Health joined us this year. So Edward Jones, they've been our national presenting sponsor since 2016. They announced in July that they're renewing their partnership with us. So they're committing another $25 million over the next 5 years. So this commitment matches the $25 million they've already raised by Edward Jones, its associates and clients since launching the alliance in 2016. The $50 million investment is the largest commitment ever received by the association from a corporate partnership. And then we have CVS Health this year. This is their first year being in our national team program. In 2019, CVS Health made a 3-year $10 minimum commitment, including customer fundraising, care support, and the Walk National presenting sponsorship. So here's all our wonderful local sponsors. Like I mentioned before, Coelho Springs is our presenting sponsor this year, and then you can see them all right here on your screen. So we took a little bit of a hit with sponsorships this year, which, you know, is totally understandable with everything going on with COVID. So I'm just so impressed with all that we have been able to do. So we've raised, I think we're up to about 27,000 now in sponsorships. So last year we were 35. So we're not too far off the mark, especially considering what everyone's going through. So I would just encourage all of you next time, if you're doing business, to thank any of these sponsors for supporting the walk. So why partner with us? So we just talked about what Walk to End Alzheimer's is about, and now we'll talk about the why. Partnering with the walk, especially during these uncertain times, can be that opportunity to bring your colleagues together in the fight against Alzheimer's, so they can have fun planning fundraising activities, or even better, having some friendly competition between department or work teams. Pictured here is the Edward Jones United Humboldt team, which is made up of associates from all of Humboldt County, 9 Edward Jones offices. In the picture, I think there's about 9 or so 10. There's, I think, about 25 on their team. So not everybody can always show up at the walk, but they all usually fundraise. So, and then the walk is also an opportunity to boost employee engagement while creating a positive presence in our community. By partnering with Walk to End Alzheimer's, it shows your company cares about being part of the solution to one day having a world without Alzheimer's. Pictured here is the Amos Ranch Ramblers team. So the team captain, Melinda Dammy, she has 2 grandparents that have passed in the last couple of years from Alzheimer's. Today we've talked about the why. Today we've talked about why everyone has a reason to end Alzheimer's, and we've learned how to get involved. Together we can see a future where there are survivors of Alzheimer's, give support to families dealing with this devastating disease, and further the research. Together we can increase employee engagement and position your company or organization as a leader in the movement to end Alz. So it's very easy to sign up. You can Google Humboldt Walk, or go to alz.org/walk and find the Humboldt Walk. Registration is free. There's no limit to the size of your team. You could be a team of 1 even, and there's no fundraising commitment. And here's pictures of the Promise Garden. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and see if folks have any questions.
I do.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kim. I was just want to mentioned the 10 warning signs. What are the 10 warning signs? Because I think of, when I think of Alzheimer's, I think of, you know, forgetfulness is the main thing, but.
And that is one of them. So I don't have them offhand, but how about, can I email them to you, Renee, and you can share them with the folks on here? She seems to be frozen. I will do that, Kelly.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the 10 warning signs too, it's nice. It kind of goes through, and like one, you mentioned forgetfulness. So we'll tell folks that, you know, if you forget, like a lot of times, you know, you'll maybe call one of your kids a different name, or, you know, you'll forget maybe where you put the keys or something. And they say that is completely, you know, that's fine. That's not a sign of Alzheimer's. More Alzheimer's would be, or another dementia would be, if someone says, oh, I'm going to grab the car keys, and you don't even know what car keys are anymore. So.
Gotcha. Any other questions for Kim?
I just have a shout out for her husband. Great job on the PR. I mean, it's like, which is wonderful. It's a lot of stuff on Facebook, and way to go. I think that's how you get your message across, definitely during these times when people aren't out and about as much as they are. So great deal.
Thank you, Becky. And, you know, shout out to Redwood News. Ross Rowley is just wonderful. So me and Marty, I don't know if some of you, I was the staff person for Relay for Life the first 15 years. So we worked with Ross Rowley quite a bit. And thank goodness when I took this position, you know, he's right there again. He's just wonderful. So
Can you go back and do the Relay for Life? We need to regroup
Yeah.
with that.
I've been asked that a few times, so.
Yeah, I bet you have. Well, you're doing a great job on this.
It was wonderful, and it took a bit to take this position because I'm like, this is a hard one because, you know, cancer, so many people are affected, but once I really got into the disease and thought about it a lot and read all the research on it, I'm like, oh my goodness, the amount of people that are affected by this, you know, it's crazy. So it's the third leading cause of death in California now. I don't think people know that. People
Wow.
they don't realize you can actually die from this. So, you know, because your body just, it forgets to breathe towards the end. So hopefully it'll be like cancer one day and we'll start, you know, getting survivors of this, because for those that have been to Relay for Life, there's nothing more powerful than that first lap with the survivors. And,
True.
you know, we don't have one right now, but we're working towards that. So.
Good.
Well, I've definitely learned a lot today. Just
Yeah.
mind. Yeah. So if there is no other questions for Kim, I just want to take a moment and thank you so much for your time, and thank you for all of the information today and joining us for our noon chamber meeting today. I appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Hello.